IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm in Stuttgart today, in Germany, for the press conference for Chris Eubank Jr. versus AVNI YILDIRIM. With me, I've got the man himself, Chris Eubank Jr. How are you?
Good. It's an interesting conference, you know. He actually had something to say for himself, which is refreshing, I guess, because, you know, most of these times when you're fighting these Europeans that don't speak English, usually they don't want to say much. They just, you know, are coming to fight and that's it. But he actually had a little bit of sauce. So obviously, you know, it's awkward because you got the language barrier and you've got translators.
I don't think his translator or coach was helping either, because half the time he went to argue with you himself.
Yeah, the coach was, he was trying to give it, you know, on behalf of his fighter. I told him, listen, you ain't going to be in the ring with him, so pipe down. But he wasn't having it.
He had a lot to say about amateur pedigree, and you said you was in the fire pits of Vegas. I mean, what did you mean by that? That's
where I learnt my craft, Las Vegas. Thrown into the lion's den from a young age, 17, 18, sparring top professionals, national champions in the amateurs. You know, I sparred anybody and everybody, world champions from all over, from all different weight classes. I was in with them from a young age. That's where I served my apprenticeship. I won the Nevada State Golden Gloves in the Western Regional Golden Gloves and represented Nevada in the national tournament. But that's really the only major competition I was in as an amateur. I only had 26 fights. I won the Haringey Cup in England, but that's you know, I didn't do the ABAs. I never got a chance to do any of that stuff. But it was enough, you know. The sparring I had was what prepared me for the pros, not my amateur fights. Because obviously most fighters, you know, they're coming in to the pro game with 50, 100, 200 fights. I only had 26, but the amount of sparring I had, that's what shaped me as a fighter and enabled me to start as a professional and to, you know, be as successful as I was early on in my career.
He was shouting out Turkish war cries and compared himself to a Kalashnikov. I mean, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I told him, you know, if you're a Kalashnikov, I'm a warship fully equipped, Gatling guns, heat-seeking rocket launchers. You know, if you want to talk about firepower, you ain't got nothing on me. You know, this guy is he's one-dimensional. He's got one aspect to his game: come forward. You know, he's a come-forward fighter. That's all he knows. He doesn't have a defense. He's not fast. He may be strong, but you know, I've fought strong fighters before. I know how to deal with them.
I mean, speaking of fighters you've fought, I mean, he's probably best win to date is probably Periban. And he said to you that who have you fought? You've fought no one. You've beaten no one. Did you find that a little bit offensive, considering himself he hasn't fought exactly a really high level of opponent?
He hasn't. No, he hasn't. But you know, he's got to say something to try and get underneath my skin. So if he wants to go there, then and say what every other fighter says, then you know, go ahead. It's at the end of the day, a lot of what he was saying was stuff that's happened in the past, his amateur career, who I fought. I told him, don't worry about what happened in the past. Worry about what's going to happen in the future, because it's going to be painful.
He seemed to know a lot about you. I mean, there's not a lot to know about him, I don't really think, but he brought up the Golovkin fight and that why didn't you take the fight? Why didn't you take the fight? And obviously, you give him the reason that Eddie Hearn decided Kell Brook would take the fight. Golovkin is fighting Canelo this weekend, a big fight. How can you see that one going?
It's a good fight, and I believe Canelo has a great chance of winning. You know, if he goes in there with the right attitude, with the mindset that he can do it, that he's not afraid, then he'll win. If he goes in there with the mindset that he had when he gave up his world title belt so he didn't have to fight Golovkin, which is worry and, you know, doubt, that's the only reasons I can think to why he would give up his world title. If he has that same mindset, then he'll lose. So really it's how he approaches the fight.
I mean, this weekend's quite interesting for you. I mean, it's just sort of all about fighters you've had either like previous with or people that are in your tournament. Obviously Callum Smith fighting Skoglund is a fight obviously I'm sure you'll be keeping a close eye on. How can you see that one going?
I don't know much about Skoglund. so I can't really comment. You know, Callum Smith, I've only seen him fight a couple guys, but you know, none of them have been of a very high caliber. So he's still not really, he's not tested, and he's not really known. It's not really known how effective he really is once he steps up. You know, anybody can knock these guys out at lower levels. Skoglund will be a good test from what I've heard, and hopefully it comes through, because you know, we want the all British showdowns in the semi-finals and the final. That's what we all want. So hopefully he does what he's supposed to do and takes the guy out.
And last but not least, on Saturday as well, your old foe, or whatever you want to call him, you might be best mates for all I know, Billy Joe Saunders, fighting Willie Monroe Jr. Have you seen any of the build-up for his fight and Billy up to his old antics again?
I have no idea. I haven't been following it. You know, that guy's so far out of my mind at the moment. It's, you know, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I didn't even know he was fighting this weekend. You know, hopefully he doesn't get embarrassed. You know, hopefully he comes through, because you know, obviously it's a fight that the public want. I don't really care anymore. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the public want to see the fight, and obviously it's a much more exciting event if he still has an unbeaten record. So hopefully, for the public's sake, he keeps his own. Whether he will or not, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
And training wise, I mean, you're going to be, obviously I know you're based in Brighton the majority of the time, but going anywhere for this camp, or you're staying put?
Listen, there's 3.5 weeks to go. You can't go anywhere now. You know, I'm set. I'm in the camp. I was in Las Vegas, obviously training with Floyd and his father. Came back a couple of weeks ago, straight into full training camp down in Brighton, and I'm fit. I'm on weight already. I've been on weight for weeks. It's gone very smooth.
Smooth as. I was speaking to Ronnie, obviously your trainer, and he said you're in a bit of trouble finding some sparring, because no one really fancies it. You've been fighting cruiserweights and light heavies. I mean, why do you think people don't want to spar you?
You know, this generation of fighters, I guess they don't have the heart and the desire that, you know, fighters of old used to have. You know, back in the day, you know, fighters wanted to fight the best. They wanted to train with the best. They wanted to spar with the best to, you know, to better themselves. And that's the only way you can do it. Steel sharpens steel. You have to be in the ring, training and sparring with guys who are as good as you, if not better. That's how you improve as a fighter. These days, you know, a lot of these trainers, they're wrapping their fighters up in cotton wool. They don't want them. They don't want having the tough spars. They don't want to put them in situations where they might get hurt or you know, outworked, and then, you know, oh, it's damaged his confidence, or, you know, we want him. You know, they want to keep fighters safe. Boxing's not a safe sport, man. You got to risk it. You got to risk it for that biscuit. And it seems to me that a lot of these guys, they're not willing to take the risk. They want to be comfortable. They want to stay in their comfort zone in these training camps. For me, you know, I'm training, and I'm putting myself in positions of extreme discomfort. I'm sparring guys 15 stones, you know, because those are the guys who you know, these are the only guys that seem to be, that want to come down and have a little tear up and have a proper spar. And guys my own weight, they're not about. You know, I'm probably gonna have to start flying these guys in now from other countries, because it seems like I can't get any work at the moment in England. It's a shame. What can you do?
Is what it is. Not a lot of people risking it for that biscuit, are they?
I guess not.
Well, listen, Chris, obviously, like I said, 3.5 weeks to go. You've got about half hour till your plane goes, so I better let you shoot. But until then, thanks for watching IFL TV. Best luck in the rest of the camp, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you before the fight. Top man. Thank you.